It is so firmly established in Iceland's social, political, and economic systems that the country has earned the distinction of being one of the most open countries. This is the reason why Iceland has earned this reputation. This Nordic nation, which is relatively small but has a tremendous amount of influence, has garnered a reputation for adopting progressive ideas, inclusion, and transparency in ways that have a profound impact not only on its national character, but also on its position within the international community. This is because these ideas have been adopted in ways that affect the nation's position within the international community. There is a possibility that the openness of Iceland can be traced back to the political system of the country, which is defined by a high degree of transparency and citizen engagement. This structure serves as the basis for Iceland's openness to the world. It is a well-known fact that the Icelandic government is renowned for having decision-making processes that are easily accessible to the general public and are open to public scrutiny. There is a significant amount of attention placed on ensuring that the operations of the government are carried out in a manner that is open and accessible to the general public. Not only does this strategy encourage citizens to take an active role in the governing process, but it also helps increase the level of trust that exists among the residents. One of the ways in which the society of Iceland can be characterized as being open is the fact that the country is committed to achieving gender equality. The nation has been a pioneer in the development of a huge number of programs that are aimed at establishing actual gender parity. These projects have been developed since the country's founding. The legal system of Iceland is distinguished by progressive legislation that are intended to promote equal chances in all aspects of life, including work, education, and political representation. These laws are at the heart of Iceland's legal system. Furthermore, Icelandic society has shown a broad acceptance of a diversity of gender identities, which is a positive development. The inclusive policies that Iceland has implemented are reflected in the high levels of participation and engagement of women in a range of professions, including politics and business. These levels of representation and engagement are extremely high. This exemplifies Iceland's dedication to promoting an atmosphere that is welcoming to people of all backgrounds. The manner in which the nation has responded to the rights of LGBTQ+ persons is yet another example of the progressive nature of the nation. In 2010, Iceland became one of the first countries to legalize marriage between individuals of the same gender by legislation rather than through judicial rulings. This was a significant step forward for several countries. On account of the fact that it marked a significant turning point in Iceland's history, this event was a monumental occasion in Iceland's history. It is guaranteed by the legal framework of the nation, under consideration, that persons are granted complete protection against discrimination on the basis of their sexual orientation and gender identity. The norms of Icelandic culture and public discourse, which actively welcome and celebrate diversity in a number of different ways. This is because of the norms of Icelandic culture and public conversation. Within the context of Iceland's openness to the rest of the world, the conservation of the natural environment is another part of the country's commitment to environmental preservation. The nation has established itself as a pioneer in the field of renewable energy due to the unusual geographical characteristics that it possesses, one of which is an abundance of geothermal activity. This is because there is a significant amount of geothermal activity presently taking place. Geothermal and hydroelectric power generation, both of which have a little impact on the environment, are responsible for fulfilling a substantial amount of Iceland's present energy requirements. Both of these forms of power generation are environmentally friendly. Both of these sources of power are extremely important to Iceland, which is why the country is so dependent on them. This dedication to renewable energy is supported by a more general environmental ethic that places an emphasis on the preservation of Iceland's natural ecosystems that have not been damaged by human activity. This ethic makes it a priority to protect Iceland's natural ecosystems. Geysers, volcanoes, and glaciers are all examples of natural ecosystems that can be found in Iceland at the same time. The government and a number of organizations have collaborated in order to prevent climate change and promote conservation initiatives. This demonstrates that they have a responsible and transparent attitude towards environmental stewardship. Environmental protection is the goal of these efforts, which are being made presently. When it comes to the economy, Iceland's openness is demonstrated by the fact that the country encourages innovative and entrepreneurial endeavors as a result of the free market economy that the country operates under. The nation has established an atmosphere that is favorable for both of these types of pursuits by enacting legislation and providing incentives that are supportive of new enterprises and technological breakthroughs. This climate is helpful for both of these types of endeavors simultaneously. Because of this, a healthy business climate has been formed, which is attracting talent from both inside the country and from other countries. This is as a result of the fact that this has been established. One of the distinguishing aspects of Iceland's economic environment has been a willingness to welcome fresh concepts and technologies. This has been one of the defining qualities. This way of thinking has resulted in the expansion of a number of different enterprises, some of which include agriculture, biotechnology, and technical innovation, amongst others. There are a number of factors that contribute to Iceland's status as an open and dynamic economy. One of these factors is the proactive approach that Iceland takes to developing an environment that is conducive to business. One of the factors that contributes to Iceland's reputation as an open economy is the fact that this is one of the elements. It is a demonstration of Iceland's dedication to openness in the field of education and research that the country has made significant investments in the fields of education and research. The educational system of the country is meant to provide possibilities for learning to a high degree, beginning with instruction for young children and extending all the way to higher education. This should be the end result of the system, as a result of the substantial contributions that Icelandic universities and research institutions have made to a wide variety of scientific and technological sectors. An environment that is friendly to intellectual openness and innovation is fostered by the focus that is placed on research and development, which is supported by money from the government and partnerships with organizations from other nations. This helps to build an environment that is conducive to invention. Iceland's reputation for openness is, in general, a reflection of the country's practices. This reputation is a reflection of Iceland's more general methods of doing things and values. The commitment of the nation to innovation, environmental stewardship, transparency, and inclusivity is firmly ingrained in the nation's policies, as well as the traditions that have been passed down through the generations. In addition to being generally acknowledged, this commitment is also commonly exercised. This all-encompassing approach not only has an effect on the lives of Icelanders on a daily basis, but it also establishes a global standard for how openness may be employed to promote positive change and foster a society that is more egalitarian and progressive. This is an accomplishment of great significance.